Hello. I'm here today to take you along on a process of creating another one of these guys. These are eyeglass holders. You can see. And this is the first one I've ever made. I made it last week for myself because I was tired of leaving my sunglasses, which definitely need to be wiped down, in places and needing to retrieve them. And being lucky every time that I've been able to retrieve them, but definitely time to get something like that. So I got the materials, made it, and my best friend said, "Ooh, make me one, please." So that's what we're doing. Okay, so first, we're going to go over materials. This is pretty much all the beading material that I own. So let me break down what I actually need for today. Okay, so we've got a tool that looks like this. This is a crimper with a cutter as well. Got it for about $6 at my local spot. We've got my fun beads. I'll show you these guys a little bit more in a bit. Most of them looked like this at the store, but some of them looked like this, and I fished these out. We've got some shells and amethyst. Here are our bead colors. This is going to be the main color, filler color, and then we'll do some of the design work with this. Then we've got the pieces that connect it all together and make it possible to go on your glasses. Also, I cut about 23 inches of wire from the 4 feet that I bought. So the first thing I'm going to do is create an end, and this end is the one that I have on mine. You can see there's the little piece sticking out. I'm going to do my best to avoid that and be a little bit more alert while I'm doing this step this time around. So I need this guy, the ring, and then we will make a loop and carefully crimp it on. Okay, you can see this one. With just a little more attention, this one can look better without that tiny piece. I tried to cut that piece off or put it into the bead, but it's just too short for my tools to get to it, and I broke a pair of nail clippers in the process. So I just decided, whatever, that's just how it is, first try. But here is the second try. So now it's time to bead. And I learned from this first project that it's going to be a lot easier to decide on the design outside of the wire. It's like obvious when you say that, but when you're actually doing it, it's easy to just start going. But I'm going to take a little more time to plan out this design. One thing that I'm already finding super helpful is I really like the spacing, most of the spacing on my original design, so I am going to use that as a guideline and just have my little piles that are roughly the amount I expect to use for the designed portion. Okay, so I'm not 100% convinced, but I am going to string it and see if I like it. Lighting is hard for some reason right now, but you can see the difference in the reflective pieces. These came from the same bin. This one has the yellow, that one has the blue. We've got amethyst. So I've got 2 of the yellow, 2 of the blue, and then I have 2 of the same types of shells, but one's lighter and one's darker. And so I have duplicates of those differences in my little bowl for the other side. But let's string it up, see how it looks. Okay, so this is what I ended up doing. The only difference between this clip and the last one is this little tan bead right here that accidentally found its way into the design. But honestly, I don't care because this is the centerpiece. And then we've got the greens and then 2 of the shiny purples. And I will show this to you in better light, I promise. But then it actually works to have this little piece here because the shell, it borders the shell on each side of the 2 accent colors. So I honestly thought that was pretty cool and kept it for that purpose. Also, unwiring these shells would take a while. Okay, so this is the full design that I created. I'm not going to try to turn these pieces over until everything is all sealed up. But with this, I did 8, 4, and 10 just to kind of mimic the same style I did for mine. And now I'm going to measure exactly how much distance this design takes. And I'm going to apply it to the other end of my wire. And I'm going to give myself a little bit of room, about a little less than an inch, for creating the loop and crimp piece. So I'm going to measure this, allocate that, and then fill my base bead, which is this pretty purple one, up to that point. So I do want to point out something that I've run into during this project, which is having a bead, in this case a shell, that is difficult to place the wire into properly. It's easy to accidentally just get it out of the shell. But as it stands currently, I was able to get the wire in the shell up to a point, and then here you can see the wire is in under the lip of the shell for what was maybe broken to make this a bead. I'm going to attempt to take a Q-tip. This is going to be a 2-hand job. So I'm going to take a Q-tip and try to catch that little tiny space in the middle right there with the Q-tip to pull the wire out from under the lip. So let's see how it goes. Honestly, it worked perfectly. Definitely would recommend that if you run into this issue or if you're using a similar type of bead. Okay, so we're almost there. I have successfully beaded and matched the design for my piece, and I put away my remaining beads, put aside my tools, except the last couple pieces that I need. So I put my ring on my glass holder, and then here's my crimp. So I'm about to crimp it. Okay, so I crimped it. I have yet to cut this little excess piece off. Looks all right. I actually re-crimped it because this loop was significantly larger than that one. That one's definitely the better of the 2 thus far, but I am going to try to take my tool and cut close to that piece. Okay, surprisingly, I was able to get a pretty close cut. It's hard to even tell because it's so much tighter than the first one that I made, this one over here. But yeah, there you have it. It is fully made. Okay, so here is the final product. I love it. I think it came out super well. It's got everything she will like, which is purple and green. And yeah, the seashells and everything just looks super nice. So there you have it.